The Trillionaire Life of Obama. Barack Obama, born August 4, 1961, Honolulu, Hawaii, U.S., 44th President of the United States, 2009-17, and the first African-American to hold the office. Before winning the presidency, Obama represented Illinois in the U.S. Senate, 2005-8. He was the third African-American to be elected to that body since the end of Reconstruction, 1877. In 2009, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the trillionaire life of Obama, so if you want to know all about it, then keep watching this video till the end. Early life. Obama's father, Barack Obama Sr., was a teenage goatherd in rural Kenya, won a scholarship to study in the United States, and eventually became a senior economist in the Kenyan government. Obama's mother, S. Ann Dunham, grew up in Kansas, Texas, and Washington State before her family settled in Honolulu. In 1960, she and Barack Sr. met in a Russian language class at the University of Hawaii and married less than a year later. When Obama was age 2, Barack Sr. left to study at Harvard University. Shortly thereafter, in 1964, Ann and Barack Sr. divorced. Later, Ann remarried, this time to another foreign student, Lola Sotoro from Indonesia, with whom she had a second child, Maya. Obama lived for several years in Jakarta with his half-sister, mother, and stepfather. While there, Obama attended both a government-run school, where he received some instruction in Islam, and a Catholic private school, where he took part in Christian schooling. He returned to Hawaii in 1971 and lived in a modest apartment, sometimes with his grandparents and sometimes with his mother. She remained for a time in Indonesia, returned to Hawaii, and then went abroad again, partly to pursue work on a PhD before divorcing Sotoro in 1980. For a brief period, his mother was aided by government food stamps, but the family mostly lived a middle-class existence. In 1979, Obama graduated from Punhu School, an elite college preparatory academy in Honolulu. Politics and ascent to the presidency of Barack Obama. In 1996, he was elected to the Illinois Senate, where most notably he helped pass legislation that tightened campaign finance regulations, expanded healthcare to poor families, and reformed criminal justice and welfare laws. In 2004, he was elected to the U.S. Senate, defeating Republican Alan Keyes in the first U.S. Senate race, in which the two leading candidates were African Americans. While campaigning for the U.S. Senate, Obama gained national recognition by delivering the keynote address at the Democratic National Convention in July 2004. The speech wove a personal narrative of Obama's biography with the theme that all Americans are connected in ways that transcend political, cultural, and geographical differences. The address lifted Obama's once obscure memoir onto bestseller lists, and after taking office the following year, Obama quickly became a major figure in his party. A trip to visit his father's home in Kenya in August 2006 gained international media attention, and Obama's star continued ascending. His second book, The Audacity of Hope, 2006, a mainstream polemic on his vision for the United States, was published weeks later, instantly becoming a major bestseller. In February 2007, he announced at the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois, where Abraham Lincoln had served as a state legislator, that he would seek the Democratic Party's presidential nomination in 2008. Economic challenges. Responding to the economic crisis that had emerged in 2008 and prompted a rescue of the financial industry with up to $700 billion in government funds, Obama, aided by large Democratic majorities in both the Senate and the House of Representatives, pushed through Congress a $787 billion stimulus package. By the third quarter of 2009, the plan had succeeded in reversing the dramatic decline in GDP, resulting in 2.2% growth on a per annum basis. Unemployment, however, had also risen from 7.2% when Obama entered office to about 10%, and Republicans complained that the stimulus package cost too much, having swelled the federal deficit to $1.42 trillion. Still, it appeared that the U.S. economy was recovering, albeit slowly. The president could proudly point to the dramatic turnaround of General Motors. In June 2009, GM had lapsed into bankruptcy. necessitating a $60 billion government rescue and takeover of about 3/5 of its stock. But by May 2010, the auto manufacturer, employing a new business plan, had shown its first profit in 3 years. Obama looked forward to recovery summer, anticipating the payoff of the massive federal investment in infrastructure improvement programs aimed at creating jobs and stimulating the economy. But as the summer of 2010 progressed, the prospects for the economy seemed to dim as unemployment stagnated. Some economists feared that a second recessionary trough was approaching, while others argued that the stimulus package had been insufficient. Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The spring and summer of 2010 would be remembered more though for a massive oil spill that dragged on for months in the Gulf of Mexico, the largest marine oil spill in history. The disaster began with an explosion and fire that killed 11 workers and led to the collapse and sinking on April 22 of the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform some 40 miles, 60 kilometers off the coast of Louisiana. The resulting oil spill endangered marine life, foul beaches, and brought a halt to fishing in a huge area. The Obama administration's efforts to address the spill were criticized by some as ineffectual, as most Americans felt helpless in the face of the largely futile ongoing efforts by BP, the well's owner, to staunch the spill. Ironically, in a policy shift just weeks before the spill, the president had proposed ending a long-standing ban on offshore oil exploration from northern Delaware to central Florida, as well as in some other locations. In the spill's wake, however, the Interior Department instituted a 6-month moratorium on new deepwater drilling that included halting operations at more than 30 existing exploratory wells. Before the Deepwater Horizon oil spill was finally contained and the well capped in July 2010, it was estimated that some 4.9 million barrels of oil had been released into the water. Wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. For all of Obama's efforts at rapprochement with much of the world, he, like George W. Bush, was a wartime president. With the situation in Iraq continuing to improve and the target date for ending U.S. combat operations there approaching, in February 2009, Obama increased the U.S. military presence in Afghanistan to 68,000 troops. Throughout his presidential campaign, he had argued that the focus of U.S. military efforts should be in Afghanistan rather than Iraq. And with the resurgence of the Taliban in Afghanistan, the military requested that Obama deploy an additional 40,000 troops there. After carefully weighing the situation for 3 months, Obama chose to send an additional 30,000 troops, a decision that was criticized by many in his party. In June 2010, as the Afghanistan War rivaled the Vietnam War as the longest in U.S. history, and as American war deaths that topped the 1,000 mark, the president was faced with another challenge when Jens Standing Crystal, commander of NATO U.S. forces in Afghanistan, and members of his staff made derisive comments about top Obama administration officials to a reporter from Rolling Stone magazine. Obama relieved Crystal of command, replacing him with Gen David Petraeus, who had been responsible for the surge strategy in Iraq. In August, on schedule, the U.S. combat mission in Iraq ended. Though 50,000 American troops remained, the majority of U.S. forces had been withdrawn. In a televised national address marking the end of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Obama stressed the importance of American and NATO efforts in Afghanistan, even as corruption continued to undermine the faith of the Afghan people in their government. How has Barack Obama spent his wealth? The estimated net worth of Barack Obama is $70 million. With his growing net worth, Obama hasn't been afraid to splash the cash. He lives in a house purchased for $8.1 million in the Kalorama neighborhood of Washington, D.C. They also own a $1.65 million home in Chicago's Hyde Park and a property on Martha's Vineyard worth $11.75 million. Obama has also presumably helped pay school fees for his daughters Melia and Sasha, both of whom have graduated from college. And with that, we have come to the end of our video. Share your thoughts about the video in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we will see you all next time. Thank you for watching.